Got it. All right, we're recording. So, very happy. I'm excited to hear from you guys. Honestly, like, you guys are killing it, obviously. So, I want to hear, basically, I'm going to let you guys just go at it and tell what you feel you need to tell. But then I'm probably going to ask you some questions because I have some in mind that I want to, like, go about. So, who wants to go first? Sam, you want to go?
No, that was me saying Livvy.
Got it. That was easy.
I can go. I'm just gonna ramble.
Do you want me to go first? I took slight notes, so if you want me to go first, you will.
Well, I don't want it to be like too crazy long because we only have 35 minutes.
No.
So why don't I set a timer for 10 minutes? You can go for it, and then I'll let Sam go. And I just want to make sure I have enough time to like ask questions.
Yeah, Sam, you start talking first, quick, because I'm gonna give Tesla something so she's not doing that the entire time.
Okay.
All right.
So
I'm gonna mute us, and then you can go for it, Sam.
Okay. Good. All right. So Maddie asked Liv and I to kind of just go over. Well, for starters, Liv and I hit diamond. I don't know if anyone knows that, but so we hit diamond, which is awesome. And Maddie kind of reached out to us and asked us what kind of changed our mindset, because I think we went from a place where we really didn't think that we could to hitting it. So I wrote like a few notes because I'm OCD, but I'll just like go over what are some of the things that kind of made me realize that this was something that was possible and not something that was so far out of reach. So I kind of addressed this today in our challenge group, but the biggest thing for me was like fear of failure. Like I put so much pressure on the idea of hitting diamond and like ranking up either 1-star, 2-star, whatever. Like the idea of moving up in rank was so nerve-wracking and uncomfortable to me. And I put so much pressure on it that I don't think, even though I thought I was working towards it, I really was moving further away from it. So just taking fear out of the equation and realizing that like you can hit this rank, and like also realizing your capabilities, that you have everything that anyone who is successful in this business has. And I know we say that all the time, but I would sit here, we're going to be completely real with you guys right now. Like I would sit here and like look at Ashley Faldyson and look at Kate Morgan and look at Michaela Vargelakis and just like sit there and be like, how the hell are they doing this? And why can't I be doing that? And the more time I spent on those types of things and like keeping my mindset in that negativity, the further, like I said, the further away I was getting to reaching my goals. And I would constantly be in a battle with myself. Like if a coach dropped or someone was saying no to me consistently, like I would get in my head and just tell myself like, okay, Sam, like maybe this isn't for you. Like I let doubt creep in and I really let it overtake everything, like my why, like my whole purpose, like why did I start this business and everything like that. Another thing too that was like huge for me was focusing on me. So throughout all of that, I wasn't really doing the fundamentals and the basics. I wasn't drinking my shake every day. I wasn't showing up to work every day. Yes, I had back issues, but there was other things that I could have been focusing my energy on, and I wasn't. All my energy was going towards the fact that I didn't think that I could hit diamond. And I started to realize that, and I just was like, it all boils down to focusing on myself. Like I really need to just show up for me every day, and people will start to see that. Another thing too was providing value to other people. I just told myself, like, what would I want if I was a challenger again? Like, what would I be looking for? What would make me say yes? And what would make me be interested in starting? So I really just had to focus on like, how could I provide value to my challengers? Because a lot of them are just falling out. Like I would have people sign up and they either wouldn't stick with it or they wouldn't be engaging in the challenge groups that I was holding. So I just had to sit down and say, okay, how can I provide value to my clients, basically? And lastly, one of the biggest things was like taking it seriously and realizing that this could be a full-time business and that this isn't just something that I'm throwing money into. Because for a while, that's how I was feeling, like, oh, I'm spending all this money every month. Like, and I was starting to think of all the other things that I could be doing with that money, when realistically the investment that I'm making monthly is a good investment. So just like taking it seriously and taking risks and investing in certain things that I know are going to benefit me, like even the little things like a ring light or just like things that'll help me be more organized, or like just thinking in a business and marketing mindset, also helped me with the shift, I guess. But honestly, out of everything, the biggest thing that I can tell you guys is just taking fear out of the equation. Like, anyone is capable of doing this, and I think we don't realize that. And all the people that are successful in this business were in our position once. The other day, I was looking at 21 Day Fix like recipe blogs, and I stumbled across Brittany Leggette's blog from 2014. And guys, like, not knocking on it at all, but like you can see the growth of a person and like where they started and where they are now. And it was just really nice to stumble across that, because it was so relatable to where like I am in my journey and like first starting out. And I think we have to remind ourselves that everyone's in a different place and we're on our own journey and we're just going to take our own pace. So yeah, that's what I have. Nothing too crazy, but hopefully that was helpful.
I think it's everything that you need to hear if you're in that position, that like, oh, I don't know, like I feel like I'm working, but I'm not really seeing it. Like that was everything. That was everything you needed to hear to just get past that and be like, take it seriously, invest in yourself, focus on you, and the rest is going to fall into place if you do those things. So true. Amazing.
I think with like all the negativity, like at the end of the day, you just have to remind yourself, like, why are you here? And Willie, my boyfriend, would always say to me when I was having a hard time, he'd be like, well, why did you start? Like, what did you start Beachbody for? Like, what is the purpose of you doing all of this? And at the end of the day, like, the business is always going to be there when you want it to be, and you're here for you. So it took me a while to like jam that into my head and really put it in the forefront of my mind. But I think once you do, and everything else will start falling into place and it'll seem more natural. But.
Yes. Yes. So proud. No, but seriously, like, just within the past, like, I feel like 2 weeks, I've seen you guys just completely shift where your head was at. And the one thing that you said, like, realizing that everyone starts at the same point. Like, everyone starts somewhere. It's just whether you're deciding to move forward from that point or whether you're just going to stay stuck and stay like in that beginning point if you're not willing to take risks, if you're not willing to invest in yourself. What was the other thing I was going to say? Oh, I don't know. It'll come to me. But just crazy proud of seeing you guys make that shift and knowing that you're going to make it happen. And the one thing is, I think the biggest thing, honestly, is you were saying you were just putting all of your energy towards what wasn't happening and what you weren't doing. And once you finally were like, well, fuck, if I actually took that energy and put it towards, okay, what can I do and what is working, then that's where the shift happens, is because your energy, like, everything that you manifest is going to happen throughout wherever you're putting your energy. So if you're putting it towards those negative things, if you're saying, oh my God, I'm not hitting diamond, this coach dropped, that's just what's going to keep happening. But if you're like, okay, well, this girl is really going at it, I'm going to focus on her. I know that this sending amount of invites is in my control. I know that talking to this many people is in my control. So I'm going to focus on those things. Like, that's a huge shift. So I love that. So proud. All right, Livvy, is that all you had to say, Sam?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. All right, let's go for it. I got to unmute you. There you go.
Good timing, because I said, hold on a second, I just have to write down one more thing.
Yeah.
So I had, like, I can just tell you that the person that I am right now talking to you guys and the person that I was even on my call with Ashley that I had a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago, totally different. I was on that call with her and she was like, "You're going to Florida. You know that, right?" And I was like, no, I'm not. Like, the thought in the back of my head was like, no, like, she's saying this obviously to like affirm me, but like I did not believe it at all. Like, I wanted to, and I was saying I'm going to Florida and like all of that, like, you know, but I didn't believe it. But I think that Sam and I are super similar in the fact that we both had a breakdown about a month ago with coaching. Like, we both basically at the same time, without even knowing it, had so many girls, like she had just said, so many girls stop doing anything. When I say that this is the first challenge group I have ever had girls participating in, that is 100% true. I have never had a day one with my girls. I have had girls sign up and they have not started anything. And I just remember, like, the day that I saw that 2 girls canceled, I just sat there and cried, and I called Maddie and I was like, I don't know what to do. I have failed them as a coach. And that was like rock bottom for coaching for me. Like, I remember having a rock bottom for my own personal development, and that's what got me into doing Beachbody. But like, I had this rock bottom with coaching where I was like, I am not serving my purpose with these people. And so basically after that, like, I took this long video, like this long apology video, and I don't even think that I sent it to anybody other than Maddie, but I like was apologizing for not being consistent and not being their coach. And as soon as I did that, I was like, holy shit, I have to step up. Then after that, there was a team call, and this girl, whoever was on it, said the affirmation, I am an athlete, I am a full-time coach. And that clicked in my head. Like, saying I am a full-time coach completely changed things for me. Like, writing that and seeing that, because now I was focusing my energy on the things that we do as coaches, not being anxious about the fact that my other full-time job is taking away from that. Like, yeah, I go serve on the weekends, but like, that's not my full-time job. That's part-time, and I do this full-time now. And also it turned out being my job on the weekends is now way more enjoyable because I see it as a part-time means of still connecting with people in person and like making that extra cash. But like, you know, that shift was huge for my life in general. But so I was just so anxious about the fact that like I didn't have time to do the things. Literally all I've had to commit to coaching is like checking in with my girls every single day. That's a big thing for me. I was telling Sam, I am checking in with every single one of them personally and being active in the challenge group, like being their biggest cheerleader in the challenge group and directly messaging them every single day for the first 30 days. After the first 30 days, like if like it becomes too much because I see myself having a lot more within these next 30 days, I'm going to have a lot more to handle than a couple of girls. Right now I have like 8 or 10, but like I'm going to have more than that to focus on. So like after 30 days, like they can leave the nest a little bit, but like the first 30 days, I am their biggest cheerleader and I am their best friend. So like that's been a huge thing. But basically, like Sam said, we know all of the things that we're supposed to be doing. And if it's not materializing for us, I think there's 2 reasons. You still need to find yourself. Like, you still need to do personal development, because if you're not finding people on like Captivate or following or whatever, I really think that it comes, and I hate to say this because I don't want this to come off the wrong way, but like I really think that you have some more finding yourself to do, because the greatest thing that's happened for me is I look through Captivate and I literally get chills when I see certain people. Like, I don't know, it may just be my spirituality, but like I literally, when I look at people and I look through their page, I get chills, and I know. And all those people that are my challengers this month, those were the people that I got chills for. And so like reading personal development and finding out more about yourself and like finding out your niche is just so important. And I've been reading Claim Your Power. I'm going to post some quotes from it on the team page after this that were the biggest things that resonated with me. But reading that book and listening to it has seriously been the biggest game changer. And not every personal development thing resonates with everybody, but like at least try it, listen to a sample, because it's been amazing. But so like using Captivate, and like Sam and I also were talking about, Sam and I both talk to the same people. Like we all talk to the same people with challengers and like inviting, and we don't even know it. And we just said, if one person is making or breaking this, you're not doing enough. Like the fact that Sam has a girl that I've been talking to forever in her group, fucking great. That is amazing, because that girl is now getting a transformation that I've been wanting her to see. And like she resonated with Sam, and like Sam was more consistent with following up with her than I was. And so like, you know, doing those things, and I just lost my train of thought with that. But like if you're not getting enough followers on Captivate, or you're not getting enough people responding to your messages, add more people on Captivate and send more invites. Like you have to raise your percentage of performance in order to get return. And like I also remember, this is not exactly on the same track, but I just remember someone saying at Summit, like if you like the people that are following you are only going to do 25% of what you're doing, or whatever that was, like, so you have to be just going so hard, and it's not that hard. I sat down earlier, Sam and I literally earlier sent upwards of, I know I sent 75. I don't know what you're at, Sam, now. Like you're probably higher than that at this point. But like it didn't take that long, because, and that leads me into my biggest next thing is organize your scripts in Google Keep, because that makes invites, that takes the fear out of the invites. You already have what you're going to say there. Obviously tweak it every person, like if you need to, just to make it more personalized, but like have those ready. And I can, like, I posted those things on the group, and you know, you use them, use whatever scripts. We're not reinventing the wheel. So, oh God, Tesla's like breaking something. I can hear it. So organizing the scripts is a big thing. I mean, using Captivate, or not Captivate, Google Streak, I haven't really figured it out yet. But it's something that I'm putting time into figuring out, because I think that makes it more business-like. But another thing, just with my invites, listening to the National Wake Up Call, when she said, like, end it with, if not, no worries, I never know who's going to benefit from this like I have. That was a big implementation into my invites, because it keeps people from unfollowing you. It lets them know that it's okay if they don't want to do this right now. Like I wrote down to tell you guys, I always try to break their excuse one time. I do the money objection, I do the time objection, and whatever else, and I do that one time. And if they're still resistant, then okay, you know, next time around. And because with me, like all of us, we committed, and if someone's not in, honestly, that person is going to, I hate to say it, but they're going to suck the soul out of you when they're a challenger, because they're not going to be committed, and they're going to expect you to fix it for them, and that's not what we're here to do. And then also just like kind of like sharing what makes you unique. And like I think what makes a lot of us unique is the fact that, like I said, for the first 30 days, we are their biggest cheerleader. And I'm including that in the invites now. Like, give me 30 days to be your biggest cheerleader, and if not, you can get your money back. Like, I will 100% be your best friend for the first 30 days. And I mean that wholeheartedly. I love all my girls that I have going on right now. And just the challenge group has given me a whole new purpose and a whole new meaning, and seeing it materialize right in front of me, like having these girls, like watching these girls just be so amazing, just has given me a new purpose for coaching. And like, I can't not have this feeling anymore. Like, I've got to keep going with it because this is amazing. I mean, I have never felt more fulfilled in my life. I mean, like, and it's amazing because, like, I mean, I'm sure you guys, like, I don't know, I know that at least Sam listened, and I know Maddie knows, like, I literally broke up with my boyfriend last night because I felt so, like, I feel so fulfilled with this that, like, I don't need to find that in anything else anymore. Like, I found my niche, and, like, this is what I needed. Like, I needed this so badly. And the Claim Your Power book said, like, you may not have anxiety, you may not have depression, you may not have addiction, you might just have purpose deficit disorder. 100%. It's not actually in the DSM, but like 100%. But I guess the other last thing with like the invite is, like, if I don't know if you guys get this, I'm sure you do, but literally people say no thanks, or like, thanks for considering me, but I'm not interested. And I think the biggest thing, instead of not responding, I've just been saying, like, hey, no problem, girl, sending so many positive vibes your way. And by the way, like, I saw your tattoo on your feed, and I think that's absolutely beautiful. Or, oh my God, like, I'm from upstate New York too. Or, wow, those pictures that you took on the beach were so crazy. I am, like, that's on my bucket list for the next year. Like, keeping that conversation open and not ending on that awkward, uncomfortable, like, still make a connection with them no matter what. Because all of the invites that I sent out today, like, all of the invites I sent out today were cold invites. And I've just shifted my mindset from what a cold invite is. And I don't know if I'm going way over on time, but I literally thought all day, I need to send these invites because, and Mel, I hope you're fucking listening, because I literally was thinking in the back of my head all day, Mel was a cold invite. Like, what if Mel was not on our fucking team right now? Like, I know that would be, like, she would be in a different place. We all would be in a different place. Like, a cold invite is not, I'm like tearing up. Like, the girls in our group, we've seen how that's impacted them. And if we don't send those invites to them, like, it's not even possible for them to be in our groups. Like, it's not a cold invite because this sounds so cheesy, but it's not a cold invite because our team has such a big heart. Like, everything behind it is such, like, it's motivated by such, like, love. It's not a cold invite. I literally I wrote cold invite script, like, cross that out, because it's just so not a cold invite at all. And, like, I don't know, like, you know, we hear that, like, Kate Morgan and everybody send so many cold invites. Do it then. Like, okay, like, I don't know, like, I just don't think of it as a cold invite anymore. And I do really believe that regardless, because the way that I'm handling it with making a connection regardless, like, we always talk about how we want to make a connection with people. If there's somebody that I see that I have that feeling with, I don't send them a cold invite. I send them, like, I really do try to make that connection. But I don't feel that with everybody. Like, you can't connect with everybody. But everybody deserves the opportunity to do this. So, like, we really, like, can't be afraid. And actually, all right, my last thing, I'm going to read this to you guys, because me saying you can't be afraid actually is literally this thing that I read from the book. So it said in the book, but you're going to listen to it because you're going to get the book. You've always been told to not be afraid. fear is like a reaction as being a human being. You have a limbic system in your brain because that's genetically what you've been built to do, because we are built for survival. And it said there's no courage app. There's no quick fix to finding words like fighting that fear. But the only thing that you really can do is take a risk and leap into the unknown and feel like you're going to die in the process. Because a fear response, like they did a bunch of studies, a fear response really only lasts 90 seconds if you just do the thing. Like the response is only actually gonna like bother you for 90 seconds. Like, so instead of ruminating on it, just do the thing and it'll be over. Like, send the invite. Like, literally just do the fucking things. Yes, Mel, do the damn thing. And he said, you won't die. You'll find that the most courageous thing to do is to feel the negative emotion you've been avoiding most of your life and watch the lessons that they bring. Yeah. Mic drop on that.
Yes, that was so good. Yo, okay. Let's just have a quick clap, and then Sam, I want you to say whatever you want to say. Freaking diamonds, guys! That means we officially have the opportunity to be a premier team, and we still have the opportunity to continue growing and work our way up to an elite team this year, which is crazy! I'm so proud.
Like we're all going to Summit again in just such a different, like, it's just going to be so different.
Yes. Okay, Sam, go ahead.
No, I was just, Liv killed it, but I was just gonna, like, in a good way, sorry. Killed it in a good way. But I was just gonna, like, touch on what she said with, when she was, like, saying, like, sending the cold invites and not putting so much pressure on the fact that it's a cold invite and, like, changing your mindset on it. I know me personally, I put so much pressure on everything, like the script, what it sounds like, who I'm reaching out to, who I'm following, what I'm doing every single day. And if you just like take it small bits at a time and don't overcomplicate it, then it becomes easier, because the more you try to pile on your plate, the more new things that you take on every single day and you try to do it all at once, that's when you get overwhelmed, and that's when you're like, okay, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm not enjoying this anymore. So I think that's what I was going to say. There's something else that you said too that I wanted to add on.
I love it. One thing that I wanted to comment on it's not a cold invite because you have such a big heart. One thing that Jordy said to me the other day is, okay, weird thing. Zoom just told me, because I signed in with a different email or whatever, that we have unlimited minutes, which is dangerous. But because we have such a big heart, it's not a cold invite. One thing Jordy said to me the other day is, I was telling him, like, I just feel like I couldn't, I don't know, like I couldn't say the right thing. Like I felt like I couldn't express myself, like I couldn't get the right words. And he's like, you're saying stuff out of love though, so how can you say the wrong thing? If you're coming from a place of love, how can you say the wrong thing? And that just like, that's pretty much exactly what Liv just said, and I think that's so true. And you're right, just giving everyone that opportunity. You're putting it out there, and it's up to them whether or not they decide to go forward with it. Feel like you're gonna die in the process. I love that. I love it. Of course, I took all the notes.
Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you, Maddie. But like, this is what I wanted to say is, like, the worst thing that could happen, and this is what I had to realize too, is like the worst thing is that they're gonna say no, or you're gonna fail, and you're just gonna learn from it. Like, at the end of the day, like, there's no real negative part of it. They're just going to tell you no, and then you try again next time, or you fail at whatever you're scared of, and then you grow from that opportunity. So like, that's another mindset.
Yes.
If you guys didn't hear Sam's live in the challenge group today, like, also, if you haven't been active in the challenge group, go look in there because it's insane. Like these girls are literally teaching us things, like so many things, and like just being active and like encouraging other people is going to boost your self-esteem. And like, but seriously, go watch Sam's live that she put in there earlier because it was so amazing. Like I literally had chills the entire time and it was so great. Like it was so crazy. And I also just want to say, for like, even if like people, whoever's like you guys on here, whoever's listening to this, like I literally didn't start going hard until less than a month ago. Like I literally went from emerald to diamond in that short of a time. We always say that like emerald isn't hard, like, and like, yeah, of course, like it's hard when you're in your own way. Like all of these things are gonna be hard if you're in your own way, and you have to feel those things. Like it's not always gonna click immediately. Like you personally have to hit that point where it clicks with you. That can take 2 years or that can take 2 weeks, but like it's gonna happen. Like you just place like the faith in the fact that like this is your purpose and like it's gonna click.
Nothing. Rachel Hollis said like nothing is ever hard. It's a habit. So like you make it a habit to not work out. You make it a habit to not do the things that you're scared of. So nothing is ever hard unless you make it hard. So I love Rachel Hollis.
Yeah, me too.
I do too.
I love that. I'm gonna write it down real quick. But one thing you said, Livvy, was like the finding yourself. And I feel like this is just, you hear every successful coach say this a million times over, is like finding yourself, finding your niche. And this is honestly one thing that this past month has been kind of like, I feel like standing in my way, and I've been stopping myself from moving forward because I feel like I am going through such a mental shift right now that it almost feels like I'm looking for somebody else. But I have to remember that person that I was before Beachbody, because that's truly the person that I'm going to be able to relate with best. And so last night I just started writing. Like I get in these modes pretty much when shit hits the fan. I get into these writing modes where I will literally send Liv paragraphs and paragraphs of just my thoughts. And last night I wrote about basically where I was literally right before I started Beachbody, and I hadn't written that in a long time. And I know I've said this to you guys before, but just having your story actually written down somewhere, like your story, where exactly you were the day you said yes to this, 2 weeks before you said yes to this, like where you were at that point, because that's the exact person that you need to talk to every single day. I always say, like, marketing it's not really fun. Like, you're literally telling the same 3 to 5 stories 5 million times over and over and over in just different words, and actually getting that out, because I felt like I hadn't done that. I felt like I hadn't truly gotten my story, my feelings, what I was feeling in that moment out on paper, or out, like, written out in a long time. And so I had kind of drifted away from that. And so I was kind of like trying to talk to everyone, when you have to talk to one person. You have to talk to that one person that you were before you started your journey. And it's funny because once you start doing that, you start those conversations with people, and once you start talking to them, you're realizing that everything, and you're actually listening to them, they're saying all of the same things that you just said in your story, or that where exactly you were. And that's why I say, like, we don't have to, we might have to talk to 1 million people in order to really find 5 people that we connect with to start, that are going to answer us back. But like those 5 people, once you find them, like Liv said, be their best friend. And that's why every single one of you is on here right now, because I was your best friend for like that first part of your journey, and we connected and we went through it together. And you guys are here because when when I was showing up as a challenger, just like Sam and Liv just said, they're showing up as a challenger first. They're putting themselves first. You guys are here at points, different points, all different points, but when I was showing up for myself first. And that's the biggest thing. That's what Ashley always says, like, all the top coaches say you have to show up for yourself first. You have to be on your own journey. And like Sam said, even the nutrition and workouts, even if you're not working out, like, there's so many other things that you could be focusing on to move yourself forward in your journey. And if you're not doing those things, you can't fucking fake it. And I said this to Jess the other day on a call with her, like, when we were talking about her quitting her job. I was like, Jess, I can literally see in your face that you're so fucking drained and you can't fucking fake happy. No, everybody will see right through that shit. And that's why, like, you can see it on me. You can look at posts. You can go through each one of our Instagrams, look through posts and be like, yo, I know she was taking care of herself there, and I know in this post she was not feeling it. She was not feeling it. And I am like the worst. I mean, I'm the best friggin' example of that, because it's a constant roller coaster, but that's what entrepreneurship is. That's honestly what entrepreneurship, that's what life is. That's what finding yourself is. That's what creating yourself is just constant little up and downs. And throughout it all, like, those people are going to see right through it and join you when they feel that you're confident in your journey. So, go ahead, Liv.
I also think that, like, a big thing that, like, talking about our story, like, you're allowed to have a couple different stories. And, like, because my story now is a lot different. Like, I realized today, because last night, after I broke up with Connor, I FaceTimed Maddie and I was like, should I talk about this? And, you know, I was just thinking to myself, like, I don't know if I should talk about this. And, like, it's so personal. Like, should I share this? And then today I was like, when I posted in the boot camp group, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to say it. Like, I'm just going to put it out there. And, like, I don't know if you guys logged back on, but after, like, I finally spoke my truth, like, Livvy Sam, like, after I spoke my truth, another girl posted, like, something super vulnerable about her, Kate. Like, she posted something super vulnerable about her. And, like, as soon as we start, like, opening up, it gives people permission to open up too. And, like, watching Simone share her story on how literally day one she was in the hospital that night, like, and still, like, after her workout she was in the hospital from panic attacks, and then, like, the next day she was still showing up. That inspired me. Like, this girl just went out of her way and, like, pushed her fear aside and shared something that, like, because, like, my story now is just so different. Like, my story now is I'm more reaching out to girls that are, like, still post really unhealthy relationship, but, like, the girls that are putting their energy into finding validation through things that aren't, like, proper. Like, the girls that are, this girl that I'm talking to, I was talking to her forever, and, like, she hadn't opened up at all. And then when she signed as a challenger, she was like, you know, I want to wake up early, but, like, there's this guy that I hang out with super, super late at night, and, like, he's my boyfriend, but like, you know, he's not really my boyfriend. It's only on his terms, that type of deal. And, like, that, I was like, girl, I feel you. And, like, in that moment, I was like, that is the person that I'm trying to reach now. So, like, don't be afraid to be flexible with, like, your story type of deal. Because it's not rigid. Like, you've changed. You, like, once you do this for a while, you're not necessarily, like, I'm not necessarily still super connected to the Liv that was beaten down completely by, hi, Mom! Oh, God, I'm going to cry.
Hello.
Hi, I love you.
I love you.
Liv, that's so freaking true. And that's kind of like what I was starting to say earlier is I am at a totally different place than I was 3 years ago. I'm in a totally different place than I was a year ago. And so I'm not speaking to the same person. And while there's always going to be a part of me that can speak to that person who I was before 3 years ago. Like, I am connecting with such a different person right now. And I think you have to give yourself grace with that. You have to realize that just share where you're at. Share where you're at, because like, you don't have to fit whatever mold you keep telling yourself you have to fit. Like, wherever you're at is enough. Like, that's what people are going to relate to. So thank you for saying that, because that's exactly what I needed to hear right now, because I am going through that exact thing. And I think that we're in this together, and I think we can constantly learn from each other and each other's experiences. And I wanted to hear so badly from you guys and see, I mean, it comes down to you do the things or you don't do the things. And when you do the things, you're passionate and you show up for yourself first, like, it's all going to fall in place. So thank you. And I am going to mow down this dinner because I'm starving, but I love you guys so much. And like, just so proud. And just like, seriously, like, Mel, Jess, whoever else ends up watching this, look at Sam and Liv. Look at where they were 2 weeks ago, literally both like just sitting at like Emerald. In like 2 weeks, they shifted their mindset, they did the things, and they showed up for themselves, and they're going to fucking Disney because they decided they were going to do it, and they made it happen. And also shout out to Jess, because she's about to fucking quit her job on Friday and had an awesome interview today. Like,
Yeah.
do the fucking scary things, because there's nothing, like, you're not gonna fucking die. There's not, literally, I took a meditation class, and the, like, one thing I took away from that class was there's not a saber-toothed tiger literally sitting at your doorstep. We are not naked and afraid. You're not naked and afraid right now, so just do the fucking things and show up for yourself and be passionate and come from a place of love. And when you do that, it'll all fall into place, and we get to live happy and free. And that's all I got. And I'm really proud of you guys, and I love you. And I'm going to go before I start bawling my eyes out because I'm emotional. So thank you. And I hope you all have a good night, and we'll talk soon. All right.
Love you guys.
Love you. Bye.